Again, doing another back-to-back, back-to-back video, provided I post the last one, which I probably will. This is on this is going to be page 8. The last one was page 7. This will continue the dinner scene where, where are we? Jackson's trying to find somebody to blame, so now it's the family that's going to, now coming out of the next page, it's going to be like his family that's looking for quote unquote logical explanations. And whoops, she's going to be looking this way. And of course, there's nothing interesting in that corner, but oh well. So we control C that, and then we come over here, paste this. Personally, Jackson, I think you're the one playing a joke. You've been using tricks to make it look like you've been getting bigger, and now you want to play on our sympathy when you look like sympathy by making it look like you're flanking. And now let's see how this looks. Oh my god. Yes, Control Z. Okay, so okay, I think we're gonna go with that size. Let's trim it down. Control C, edit, paste as. Paste as. And of course, during the break, I took the opportunity to go check my sales on Amazon. If any of you have like any of you have written a book and put it up on Amazon, you'll know that feeling. That you're always checking your sales, looking to see if you got one, seeing if you got another sale since you checked 5 minutes ago. And it just so happened that there were 2 more sales since the last time I looked. And it's what I've found funny this month is that as of this morning, um, how do I do this? Let's see, cut it there. Okay, as of this morning, half my sales this month in December have come from outside the United States. Right, there we go. It's, oops. See, I'm trying to think of how to word what's coming next, so I'm not, so I don't inadvertently offend when I don't mean to. It's like being an American writer, and I think even like a lot of non-American foreigners. If you're outside the U.S., then you're not a foreigner to yourself. Oh my God, I really said that. But it's even to writers outside of America. I think a lot of times you look at the U.S. as your biggest market, so it's kind of, so it is like a little funny to see that you're selling as many books outside the U.S. as I am in the U.S. right now this month. And like what's even more striking is that for some reason, um, the sales are spiking in France, of all places. Let's see, we cut that, edit, cut. It's I have sold a fair number of books outside the U.S. Um, and strangely enough, like Canada is, I think it's Canada has been my biggest international market. Um, he says new layers. With that, with sales coming pretty much from everywhere else in Amazon's universe. I get if I get fairly steady UK sales, um, Spain, Italy. Oops, oops, undo, select, invert, select, shrink, select, invert, edit, cut. It's like that. Okay. Uh-oh. Let's undo that. Come on. Select the head. There we go. Even Mexico gets I know here in the U.S. Mexico gets a lot of crap, but even like Mexico has been a steady market for me. I'm not going to give them any crap, but like for some reason, like this particular month, like I've seen a spike in out of France. Oh, excuse me, I get like a frog in my throat right now. Oh. I wasn't that wasn't, and I wasn't saying that that wasn't meant to frog France. That wasn't meant to be that. It's just I really do feel like I've got something in my throat right now, but yeah, it's for some reason this month France has been a big market, and like as of this morning, it was I think one sale shy of being half of my monthly sales this month, and like now with two more, it's moved it to now being half of my monthly sales. So now I'm so now it's like I'm one sale, um, sort of like my American sales are like one sale away from being, or like less than half of my sales now this month by 1 sale. It's like just I find it funny like on like a statistical level, but really it just amazes me, and that they're that to get that kind of love from from you guys wherever you are. Let's see. I need to get. Let's see. Where is this? I think it's what I'd like to do is put his hand under the table, just make it go away. I don't think it's going to look right. Um, oh, this is okay. I'm looking for you. Okay. It's like I guess as the writer who's watching, who like sits and watch rankings. I think if like watching your rankings, whenever you make a sale in in one of the foreign markets outside of Amazon.com, like in this case Amazon.fr, it doesn't affect your sales ranking on the .com site. It's like a little personally disappointing on that level, but yeah, but but it is one of those things like you're really grateful for and you're just surprised by. And okay, yeah, I forgot which panel this was going to go on the page. It's, it's I don't know if you get sick of hearing me like going on about how grateful I am and like just being thankful to you guys for the support, but I mean I just can't like I just appreciate it so much. I can't say it enough. All the times you were accusing me of wearing lifts, I think you were projecting what you were doing onto me. I think the idea is like that by itself doesn't exactly sound right. It sounds like it should be cleaned up a little, but every now and then I have to remind myself that these are kids talking, so they wouldn't exactly be speaking proper, proper English. Oops, there we go. Their language needs to be flawed to be realistic. Let's select none, and that is matched up, right? Yes, merge that down. Cut, select none, edit, paste as. speaking of rankings, that book Corbin's Basement is still in the graphic novel categories after pointing out to Amazon that it was deceiving customers who might think it's a graphic novel and then be disappointed when they buy it and find out it's not. Amazon's decided to leave it there. So I guess Amazon doesn't care if you, the reader, are deceived by faulty categories. Oh yeah, we got that already. File. even though they even though they really don't think weightlifting is a sport, bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever aspect of weightlifting you want to refer to. Apparently, in Amazon's world, it's not a sport, but, but a prose book is a graphic novel. Oh my god. Layer to image size. We fuzzy select that and we cut, and paste. Edit, paste as new layer. Make that invisible, and we come and mess with this. Shrink. Excuse me. Now we will make him angry. Let's see, 31. Render that. Edit, paste as. But going back for a moment, I think what I truly find amazing is like both um, genres, I guess. Let's see. I was not playing tricks. I really was 6 6 exclamation point. No, let's go 3. Let's give it 3 exclamation points. I really was 6 6. It's one of you playing games, and I swear if I get any smaller before it stops, whoever it is will be sorry. Let's see. Okay, yes. I guess like God, that frog in my throat isn't seems to keep coming back right now. Um, but yeah, what I guess another thing I kind of find truly amazing about your support is like both these genres. The muscle growth um, aspect and sort of the macro micro side is that is you've got the huge, is a big sexual aspect to it. In these book and it's any of you guys who write stories tend to invariably go there. And it's like, for my part, I tend to find the fun of the change to be more interesting than like the sex and whatever else. I like the adventure of both genres, which is why I like doing these fun stories where they're just goofing off most of the time. It's like a character's getting smaller and it's just a ridiculous scenario throughout, and half the time nothing serious goes on, because that's kind of what I like. It's just the characters having fun with it. And I think too, as I've like teased sex into certain projects, I think there's that sort of unfortunate reality that to sell the work, it's hard to near impossible to find a platform to monetize it. Where Amazon is, touchy, and they're probably the more liberal of the big retailers. So so the stuff, anything designed for Amazon has become increasingly family friendly. Oh, and whatever is in my throat is, oh, so I was, even when I started way back when, I was never really sure um, how projects that didn't necessarily head toward a sexual relationship would actually do. And like the response has just been incredible. I mean, it amazes me that you guys love these stories, even if they don't have the sex in them, even if they, don't end up with, a serious romantic relationship, that sort of thing. It's amazes me how many of you sort of like the fun adventure just like I do. And I mean, it's like, and I know it's not for everybody. I know it's not for everybody. Like, somebody, it's like a couple of the reviews, on Amazon and Goodreads, or some of the ratings, sort of reflect the disappointment at the lack of sex, which is okay. It's not for everybody. But like I said, I'm just so surprised, grateful, thankful that like so many of you do. And it's even when I try to experiment, and do something a little different from what I've, try and do something different from what I've been doing, try and do something with a different tone from what I've been doing. It, it's, I don't think anything has really fallen flat, and it just surprises me. Okay. Went off on a tangent, and I'm not really sure where this page is going all of a sudden. So I gotta take a moment and see where I am here. It's not playing tricks. Let's see. This is the point where I've been talking with you guys so much. Now I'm not really sure where the next panel should go. Oops. I think his expression needs to be a little friendlier. Question is why? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This is called one of those moments where I'm just at a block. I really just hit a wall here. I'm not really sure what she should be saying to move this to the end of the page. Personally, Jackson, I think you're the one. But, let's see. It's one of you playing games, and I swear if I get smaller before it stops, aren't we always? She needs to say something. The idea is she needs to say something snide, but not give it away. That everything that's running through my mind kind of gives, sort of should raise the flag that she's behind this. Aren't we always? So I guess that's kind of snide without giving away that she's the one doing it. Okay. New layer. Select none. There we go. Because it's sort of with this series in this universe, these stories, I think, fall into two categories for me. At least, like in my mind, they fall in two categories. Um, uh, the first are the stories where it's David shrinking, where you've got sort of the adult Micro aspect, and the other half is when it's the kids shrinking. And I always feel like it's two distinct. I almost feel like it's two distinct things because you don't really want to. Because the idea is you don't want to sexualize the kids. I always fear that, like, the sexual aspect of this is going to make stories like this one kind of flop. But and then it like ends up surprising me that like there are a lot of you out there just sort of reading it for the fun, just the fun adventure. That it's like feeds into like not every story has to be sexual to be fun to be enjoyable, to fit in the genre. That there are people who like, and I don't know, it just makes me feel so happy. Oh, I didn't want to layer size. Um, yeah, I'm trying not to say grateful again, even though I am. But oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. Okay, edit, cut, select none. Now we do layered image size. Let's go edit, cut. Let's see, select invert, select shrink. I think part of the problem I'm having with this page, whoops, cancel, select invert. That focusing on the conversation, I ended up, I'm sort of not really paying attention as much as I should. And I think this panel should have been maybe 2 panels later. It's almost like there needs to be more there needs to be like 2 more panels of conversation here. So yeah, you know what? Shoot. If I bring you down. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. And what that's going to mean is I'll then have to recut these images. You know what? That's why I'm stuck here. Jackson's little mini threat should have been toward the end of the page. Where are we? And then her comment kind of fits. So, all the times you were accusing me were, unless I think you were projecting what you were doing onto me. Okay, yeah, now I've got these next 2 panels. We'll just keep the numbering. I won't bother adjusting this, but uh what do we do? Okay, there we go. Paste as transform. And the thing is, oh shoot. Um Okay. Let's bring this one instead. Okay. It wouldn't be the first time you accused siblings for something you did or doing that. It would be the first time you accused. And that's the other problem is that's one of the biggest problems I have here is since I don't have spell check in GIMP, I sort of have to go on my I have to go on my own spelling skills, and then occasionally I get a word like this one where for some reason it doesn't look right, so I have to open Word and use word spell check, and it's like even if I've got the word right, just having told myself that it doesn't look right, it will never look right. Even when I confirm that it's right, so we'll take off caps lock for a minute. Accused. Yeah, see, it's spelled right. Synonym. Yeah, see, it's spelled right. But now that I've told myself it doesn't look right, it still doesn't look like it's spelled right. So it drives me nuts. First time you accuse one of your siblings of, you know what, but 4 is wrong, so we'll go of. Whoops, and I gotta put caps lock back on. Something you did. Now we go File, Open as Layers. Layer Scale, 33. Whoops, I don't want that. You. And, okay. You, yeah. Okay, so, this one. Now we'll position this. Let's go. Edit, cut, select none, edit, paste as new layer. Park you. Okay, why am I not seeing this now? Oh my god. Oh my god. There we go. Perfect. Merge down. Okay. And then we will move. That looks. No, it still doesn't look centered. There we know. Speaking of things that don't look right, no matter which way this goes, this will not look centered to me. Even though it is close enough. Okay, so I know I didn't want to merge that down. Edit, undo. I'm going to delete. I'm not going to use that one after all. Oops, I want you. This? No, okay. Come on, select the head. There we go. Let's take the anger down a notch, even though he's ticked. Because we sort of want it to look like the anger is building for the next panel. So, and then focus on the head. have a feeling he's going to be in the shot, so let's have him looking at his food again. Poor Alex, every time he goes for his food, he always gets interrupted. Oops, this way. Okay, let's... Wait a minute. Oh. Okay, never mind. I'm messed up here. Let's take the head. We're side to side. There we go. That's good. Okay, so 34. And I need you. Control C, edit, paste as layer, transform, rotate it. There we go. And this wouldn't be the first time you take everybody else's side over mine. And let's see if we can. Okay. We'll cut that. Edit, cut, select none, edit, paste as new layer. None, edit, paste as. Okay. Now I'm going to come and sort of fix this a little bit to follow a little more logically from this one. This wouldn't be the first time you take everyone else's side. I don't know, I want you. This always comes up. Okay. Heck. This wouldn't be the first side. Because I was not playing tricks, I really was. And that means this is going to be stretched. Oops. Okay. I gotta make that bold. And then let's stretch this out a little bit more. Edit, paste as new layer, select none, not invert. And I need you. Merge down. Now, since this is a little wide, we'll make it overlap so it looks like it's supposed to be overlapping. Into the next panel. So we could get like a Bob Ross kind of vibe going. And over here, we'll put a little happy tree. Except in this case, it'll be a happy little word bubble. Now, because I have to redo the borders on these, I'll take my layer and we'll fill it in and make it all black again and start all over on this. So, layer to image size, select, edit, cut, edit, paste as new layer, And then we start select, invert, select, shrink. Okay, select, invert, edit, cut. Select none. Layer, edit, cut, edit, paste as new layer. Does it, so when I make the Bob Ross reference, does that end up dating me? Like, are there many of you out there who have to like go and Google Bob Ross to see who it is? Or you going like, God, you're old. Uh, like some millennials out there ready to pounce with the okay boomer towards me, and then I'm supposed to get all crotchety and mad. I'm like, I am not a boomer. Don't lump me with them. Uh, what did I do? See, here I go, poking fun at myself a little bit here, and now I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing again. Select none. Yay, okay. Merge down. Now I just need to bring in the last picture. File, open as layers. We gotta reposition that excuse me. Let's see, David and Liz aren't baby boomers, so they'd probably get upset if their Gen Z kids started started going, okay, boomer, started calling them boomers. Let's see layer. Although from what I'm seeing on Quora, I think Gen Z are now like coming up with a new insult for those of us who are Gen X. Uh, recognizing that complaint. Okay, so you're not a boomer? Well, then you can be a Karen. Uh, and if any of you are Gen Z or millennial out there, and you think I'm laughing at you, just remember this. When we were your age, when we were the young generation, we were making fun of the older generations too. So it's not just you. Oops, undo paste. It's not just you. We were doing it back in our day. you know, so it's just the wheel, the wheel spinning. Now you get to make fun of us for being old, while we get to make fun of you for being young. Hmm. Oh, whoops! I got to merge this one down, and let's save that file. Save as in page 8. You know, and export page 8. But if you you want to see a really entertaining, if you're into science fiction and you want to see a really entertaining show that sort of like highlights that divide between the young and the old, there was a show. I don't know if you've heard of a show called Lex, Lexx. It was, I think, initially like a Canadian German joint production, and then I think it just became a Canadian production later on. But there was an episode in the second season called Brigadoon, where they basically find a musical theater floating in space, and the actors are performing sort of the life history of one of the characters in his world. And and like at one point it's like it highlights this young old divide, and like at one point they start breaking out into song where the young people are singing like old the older very no it's like dull the older very dull, and then the old people are saying like dumb the young are very dumb. It's just funny. I think the episode is called Brigadoon. you know the show itself is just crazy, and it's very sexualized, though not like entirely pornographic. So, but let's see. That's probably a discussion for another piece. Personally, Jackson, I think you're the one playing a joke. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you've been using tricks to make it look like. No. Oh my god. Okay, I know it. You use tricks to make it look like you've been getting bigger, and now you want to play on our sympathy by making it look like you're shrinking. All the times you were accusing me of wearing lifts, I think you were projecting what you were doing onto me. See, it didn't bother me in that panel, but it did over here. God. It wouldn't be the first time you accuse one of your siblings of something you did. And this wouldn't be the first time you take everybody else's side over mine. Because I was not playing tricks. I really was 6'6". It's one of you playing games, and I swear if I get any smaller before it stops, whoever it is will be sorry. Aren't we always? So now I gotta come back and fix this. Control Z will unflatten it. I think, yeah, that's what I wanted. U. 3 used tricks. And let's get the A to another line. How about that 2? I oftentimes have problems visually, in my mind. I have problems with having a line end with an article or a pronoun like I. So most of the time, I'll make the I go to that next line, or like in this case, the 2 or the A. It's usually like those 1 or 2 letter words I just visually in my mind have an issue with, and I'll try to get them to the next line, although it's not always possible. And if you kind of go through, occasionally you'll see instances where a line will end on I and before going to the next line, just because I can't get it to go to the next line and have the text look like a somewhat orderly block. But that was the change I wanted to make there, so we'll save and then flatten it again and then export to page 8 JPEG, and that will do that. So, I want to thank you for those ramblings, for sitting through those ramblings. You're not the one rambling, I'm the one rambling. Um, Thank you if you're still listening. Um, and I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is, because I think I'm going to take a couple of pages off um, from video filming. That's from filming, that not like take them off, but I can close that. But again, thank you, and I'm And I'll say it once again, I really am grateful and glad for your support, and I'm just glad I can provide something you love as much as I do.